There was a mirror in his room. He walked past it every single day, but he never looked at it. Not because he was afraid of his face, but because he was afraid of his eyes. Because eyes don't lie, and his eyes would tell him the truth he was running from. His name was Arjun, 23 years old, living in a small rented room. He had dreams once, big dreams. He wanted to build something, be someone, make his parents proud. But somewhere between wanting and doing, he got lost. Every morning he woke up with plans. Every night he slept with regrets. Tomorrow, he would say, tomorrow I'll start. But tomorrow never came. He wasn't lazy, he was scared. Scared that if he tried and failed, the last bit of hope inside him would die too. So he chose to do nothing. And nothing slowly became everything. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. His phone was full of motivational videos. His mind was full of excuses. He became a master at lying to himself. I'm just taking a break. I'm waiting for the right time. I'm not ready yet. But deep down, he knew the truth. He was disappearing, fading, becoming invisible, even to himself. One evening, his mother called. "How are you, beta?" "I'm good, Ma. Everything's fine." Lie. "Are you eating well?" "Yes, Ma." Another lie. "Are you working on your goals?" Silence. He couldn't answer because there were no goals anymore, just guilt. "I'm trying, Ma," he whispered. After the call ended, he sat in the dark. The room felt smaller. The silence felt heavier. He looked around. Unwashed clothes, empty cups, a laptop he hadn't opened in days. This was his life now, and for the first time, he felt disgusted. Not at the mess, but at himself. He stood up, walked toward the bathroom, and there it was. The mirror, covered with a towel, like always. He had covered it months ago because he couldn't stand looking at himself. But tonight, something broke inside him. Maybe it was his mother's voice. Maybe it was the weight of all those tomorrows that never came. He pulled the towel off and looked. What he saw shocked him. Not because he looked bad, but because he looked empty. His eyes had no light, no fire, no life. He looked like someone who had given up. And that's when it hit him. This wasn't just a reflection. This was his identity. This is who he had become. Not because the world broke him, but because he broke himself. Every time he said tomorrow, he was killing a part of himself. Every time he chose comfort over effort, he was choosing to disappear. He placed his hand on the mirror. His reflection did the same, and he whispered, "Who are you?" The reflection didn't answer, but the silence did. It said, "You are what you do, not what you plan to do." He stepped back. Tears filled his eyes. Not tears of sadness, tears of anger. Anger at himself for wasting time, for lying, for hiding. He clenched his fists. "I'm done," he said out loud. "I'm done being this person." He didn't know how to change. He didn't have a plan. But he knew one thing. He couldn't look at that face in the mirror again and feel nothing. That night, Arjun didn't sleep. He cleaned his room, every corner, every mess. Not because he suddenly became disciplined, but because he needed to prove something to himself, that he still could. The next morning, he woke up early, not because he felt motivated, but because he remembered that face in the mirror, and he didn't want to be that person anymore. He opened his laptop, started working. Was it easy? No. Did he feel like quitting? Every 5 minutes. But every time he wanted to stop, he thought of the mirror, and he kept going. Days passed. Some days were good, some days were hard, but he didn't stop. Because he realized something powerful. Identity is not something you are born with. Identity is something you build. Every small action, every choice, every moment you choose effort over escape, that's who you become. 1 week later, he walked past the mirror again. This time, he stopped. He looked at his eyes, and for the first time in months, they looked back. there was something there now. Not confidence, not success, but presence. He was there, fully, alive. He smiled, not because everything was perfect, but because he was no longer hiding. See, the mirror didn't show Arjun his face, it showed him his choices. Most people avoid mirrors, not the ones on the wall, but the ones inside. The mirror of truth. The one that asks, are you becoming who you want to be? Or are you just pretending? We lie to everyone, but we can't lie to the mirror. Because the mirror doesn't care about your excuses, your reasons, your fears. It only shows you who you are right now. And that's the most powerful thing. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. You either accept it and stay the same, or you reject it and change. Arjun chose to change. Not because he had a big plan, but because he couldn't stand being that person anymore. And that's where real change begins. Not in motivation, not in inspiration, but in disgust. Disgust with who you've become and hunger for who you could be. So let me ask you, when was the last time you truly looked at yourself? Not your face, but your life, your choices, your days. Are you proud of what you see? Or are you hiding, just like Arjun was? The mirror is waiting, and it will show you the truth. The question is, are you ready to see it? If this story touched something inside you, hit like, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe for more stories that speak to your soul.